Hi Kiwi, alright, we are back at Hades 1. We're going to be running the aspect of Beowulf on the shield. We're going to take the Dionysus Keepsake, and I'm going to try and do a run that I've been practicing 45 heat with on a different save file. We're going to take 3 levels Extreme Measures, 2 levels Benefit Package, 1 level Middle Management, and 1 level of Tight Deadline for a total of 14 heat.
Starting assignment now.
So our goal is to get Dionysus's...
Upon my name, you lack the cheerfulness of Hypnos and the competence of Thanatos, but have more willfulness than both combined.
Complaining about the brothers, I see. Well, anyway, so our goal here is to get Dionysus's cast. And the reason for that... well, looks like we're starting with a hammer. We will take... I guess I'll just take the sturdy for 3 seconds. That'll give us some extra defense options.
Deadlier than ever.
So the reason why we want to go for Dionysus's cast is because it, for some reason, is a little bit bugged with the shield, specifically the aspect of Beowulf. For some reason, every level of pomegranate that you get on this boon is doubled in terms of what its effect is. So if you go from level 1 to level 2, you get like 60 extra damage on Trippy Shot, it actually ends up being 120 extra damage, which is no small amount, to say the least. It makes it kind of broken. Then, if you get the other fun little glitch with the aspect of Beowulf, namely the fact that Mirage Shot, the duo boon between Artemis and... okay, ooh, Poseidon showing up this early would be pretty good for us. Because we're guaranteed Dionysus still, but Poseidon, we want Poseidon and Artemis, as I was saying, Mirage Shot. Oh, and there's Artemis too. Ooh, we're given all 3 gods we want in this build. I think I'll start with Poseidon, because there's a risk that I won't get the Artemis there. We take the Poseidon here and go for either his special or his attack, preference to his special a little bit, just because the attack would be better suited to Artemis for the crit chance, I would say. We don't want to accidentally push enemies out of our AoE from the cast on the special.
Good tidings once again there, little nephew. It is I, returned as ever here to make a splash against your many, many foolish enemies.
Thanks, Uncle. What have you got for us? Attack special. All right, yeah, we'll take his special here. So what we want to do is we want to get now Artemis's attack and Dionysus's cast. So, as I said, Dionysus's cast is already broken insofar as just the amount of how it scales ridiculously fast because of the bug. But then Mirage Shot, the duo between Poseidon and Artemis, it's supposed to, the way it works is it makes your cast hit twice, which is great. That alone makes it sound really good. Normally, what it should do when you have that effect, though, is it should reduce the damage of that second hit by to 30%. But it's bugged on the shield, to the point that it does 100%. So your cast hits twice, and it scales extremely well, making it a ridiculously broken build. And honestly, believe it or not, despite me saying that I've been using it to practice 45 heat, it's not the build that I find the most consistent for winning, because it's hard to get rolling. I get a ton of damage on the cast, sure, but I haven't had the luck of getting all of the boons lining up in a timely manner. I have not once seen Mirage Shot happen. I've gotten a bunch of palm levels on Dionysus if I get a lucky starting boon with him, and then I start with like the Palm Blossom, but that's about the extent of what I've seen on those runs. The runs that I've had the most success on 45 heat, and granted I have yet to win yet, it feels like my equivalent of 32 heat at this point, but the 2 weapons I've had the most success with, we'll take Dionysus here. It's an increased rarity and a mini boss room, which means we should get a really good cast if we're lucky.
You've been waiting for this, haven't you?
Sneak is one of the most annoying enemies, I swear, especially on 45 heat. It is so difficult to deal with because it just teleports too fast and you can't really use your AoE cast effect very well. So I often have to just settle for smashing him down with my attack. There we go, okay. Let's give him the ambrosia first.
What does one offer to the god of wine? The very best is what? And down here, this is it, mate. I'm grateful I've got some of your spirit in me. To have such a connection with you despite all the distance between us.
Zach, I cannot believe what you're offering to me. Ambrosia man for me? And talk about a bottle that has seen some wild days and nights. I mean, if it got all the way to you down there, only to come back up. You know what? I'm saving it till we can share it here.
It's a sweet notion. Is that bond forged? It's bond forged. Only a couple more to go.
Well, would you just look at yourself, Zach? You are like a walking stockpile of ambrosia, aren't you? Taking the best care of it at that. I knew I could count on you, but I didn't know I could just be so proud of you, you know, man?
Initially, I read the sniff as him sniffing the ambrosia somehow, but that makes more sense. He's just happy crying, I guess. All right, we were not offered his cast, and now let's re-roll and see us still not offered it, right? Called it. All right, we'll take premium vintage because that'll help us potentially stack up the cast as well. Unfortunately, the lack of that cast is a big deal for us because it was kind of the whole crux of our build, and if we're not going to be offered it, it matters very little what we get in the run. I guess at this point we just take what we can from Mirage Shot unless Dionysus is so kind as to show up somewhere soon and grant us something nice. But man, RNG just doesn't want to let us have the nice things. I can't get a break with this build, whether it's a casual 14 heat run, which, whether it's a casual 14 heat run or a less casual 45 heat. I never can catch an RNG break with it, I swear. Feels bad. Feels really bad, wow. And we were so set because we got the Yarn of Ariadne, so we could get a higher rarity boon too. Plus, it was a mini-boss chamber. We had the best possible chance of getting what we wanted, and we got nothing instead. And now we have 2 levels on our Poseidon special, which just feels terrible. Because we are never going to use that special. The only purpose it has in this entire build is to set us up for Mirage Shot. And frankly, once we get that, I could sell the spoon and never look back. I guess on the bright side, it does potentially give us a chance of getting a Dionysus duo as well. But we don't even have a boon to duo with Dionysus. I took premium vintage because it'll give us palm levels, assuming we eventually get our cast. Which we're still not being offered another Dionysus room. We'll take the Chaos here because there is something we want from Chaos, particularly either increased cast damage or increased cast gem. And objectively speaking, increased cast gem is super good here.
Again, I sensed some sort of shifting in your father's residence. You seek to ask something of me about it, do you not? Respond.
Come to our party!
Oh, I'm glad you asked. It's just my mother, we're reaching out to the Olympians, trying to reconnect the family. It's been a while, relatively, since she and father saw the others, but in case a gathering occurs, I did wish you to know you're cordially invited too.
Cordially invited? A generous proposal, son of Hades. Though unless your gathering is to occur within my space, please understand it would be difficult for me to bring the full entirety of my presence there. However, I think I can arrange to be with you in some capacity. Thank you.
I'm curious to see how that manifests. Alright, increased rarity, increased cast damage, or... I mean, I really would like to see more cast stones, but I'm not going to waste my reroll here because we need to save it for... I guess the question is, do I want rarity or cast damage? I think rarity would offer us more, but it's not guaranteed. This is a guaranteed 37%. I will take that, I think. Aphrodite showing up out of nowhere does nothing for us. I guess we take the HP at this point, just for a little bit of extra survivability. I don't want to accidentally take Aphrodite and then get locked into a 4th god before we see Artemis, so I won't take a 4th god until we have gotten to Asphodel or see Artemis in this area. Funny that she showed up in that Erebus gate at the start, though.
Who's next?
But the thing about Beowulf is not only does it have that potential damage, it's also just a matter of it's a shield. So while you're charging up the core of your damage with that bull rush, you are also just blocking all front-facing attacks, which just makes you inherently really tanky.
Let's see what's in here.
I will take another Chaos Gate very gladly. All right, and then the shop. What is the shop going to offer us? Athena, not interested. Hermes, interested.
Cheers, mate.
Auto reload, excellent. That will help us a lot. That makes us regenerate our cast gem a lot faster. And it puts us in line for potentially getting bad news, which is a very potent legendary boon from
Hope I didn't
Hermes.
keep you waiting, ladies.
Look at her trying. Yeah, basically our goal here, the things that this build benefits from most from, aside from Mirage Shot and aside from just getting as many levels on Trippy Shot as possible, is the simple fact that anything that gives us more cast gems will make us ridiculously strong. Because what I'm doing is I'm running Stygian Soul, or is this Infernal Soul? I still can't keep them straight, I swear. But basically, I'm running the soul that makes us regenerate cast instead of having multiple at the start. And the reason for that is if you can get, oh my goodness, let me out. Ooh, that was so much damage there. I just face tank a whole lot of nope from her. Maybe I just spam special? No, I don't think that's faster than this. Like, here's the power of the shield. You just hold your attack button and block all of their projectiles, and there's really nothing they can do about it. But anyway, so we want as many cast gems as we can get, and the best way to do that is see as early in Artemis as possible and start working towards her legendary. Chaos is your other big boon giver for that, because Chaos boons can sometimes give an increased number of cast gems. But we want as many as we can stack. The more we stack, the easier it is to just dash around with Bull Rush and drop damage. And I have yet to see a run casually or less casually with those higher heats where that has been the case, where I've gotten all of those things in the right order. Oh right, I was gonna say, what have I actually gotten the farthest with? It's either the bow or the aspect of Hestia. Both have gotten me to Hades actually at 45 feet. But I've been doing extreme measures for Hades, which is so rough when he spawns in those mini bosses in the first phase.
Tread lightly, boy.
But I have in both with the aspect of Chiron and the aspect of. Oh no, I have to sell auto reload. Oh. Wow, we didn't get any boons. Maybe I should have taken that Afro after all just to sell her. I think we have to hold on to Tempest Flourish because it gives us more.
Keepsakes hold power. Okay.
Wait, no, I didn't have to sell that. I'm dumb. I'm so used to playing high heat that I have to sell boons. Well, that's unfortunate.
Next floor.
Oh well. We did not have not approval process. What is it? Maybe it is approval process. No, I oh, Underworld Customs. That's what it is. Unfortunate. Oh well. Force of habit.
The Asphodel Meadows.
There's another Hermes, so we could potentially get it back, I suppose.
All right.
I wonder if Hermes shows up in extra time if we sell one of his boons. Oh well. That's unfortunate. I messed up. Force of habit. Cast more damage. I guess we'll take that. 37% more cast damage, but at the cost of half of our movement speed. Key here will give us another reroll, which is always welcome. But anyway, so Hestia, I mean, is just an inherently strong weapon. The issue that I had was I held on to the Shattered Shackle for too long and got used to its damage as a crutch. So the Shattered Shackle, as you may or may not know, the way it works is it increases all damage you deal from your core boon slots by 100% until you get a boon there. So on Hestia, that makes it an extremely powerful keepsake. But at the end of that run, I switched it at Styx from the Shattered Shackle not having an attack boon to, I think, Skelly's Tooth, or the Lucky Tooth.
Cut a Slavag.
Because I wanted to make sure I had the best chance of surviving, but that cut my damage so severely, it made Styx extraordinarily difficult to contend with. We're going to go for this Artemis room here because it's potentially going to set us up for our Mirage Shot duo that we're aiming for. Plus, conveniently, it is a fountain chamber.
Quiet.
I have to meet Callisto soon, but it won't take me but a moment here to get you on your way.
Thanks, Artemis. Let's see. And there's her attack, so yeah, we'll take her attack here. Now we can get double strike, or sorry, Mirage Shot, which will let our cast hit twice. Granted, we are still severely lacking in any sort of redeemable cast, and while that Hermes auto reload would have been nice to have, oh well, I can't lament its loss forever, so we'll just move on. Anyway, so this build really does scale extraordinarily well the more cast stones you have, so the sooner we get more of those, the better. Until then, her damage is severely lacking. Honestly, even if we do get our cast at this point, we're not getting a whole lot of levels on it, because I can't guarantee it with the Palm Blossom. Granted, if we do get Mirage Shot, I have everything I need from Poseidon and Artemis, and maybe I just sell their boons to make sure the Palm Blossom stacks up on Trippy Shot as much as possible. We'll see. At this point, I'm not really sure how this build is going to go, but it has yet to pop off the way I would like it to. That is for certain. In the meantime, one thing I can talk about, I mentioned this in the Pokemon episode I recorded today, which, oh yeah, it turns out I forgot to turn on my mic, or rather plug in my mic for that Pokemon episode, so I have to re-record it. Hooray! And by re-record it, I mean I'm just going to be...
The power of the gods.
I'm going to have to redub everything, Kiwi. I feel so bummed about that. There's another Artemis room, there's an Aphrodite room, and there is a Poseidon room. Between the three, we definitely want Artemis the most because she stands the most to give us. Either a tier 2 boon that can get us closer to her legendary, the duo with Poseidon, or just Flak for a chance. All are really good options. So that is the room we're going to go. Oh, well, maybe we can... Nope, I wasted that horribly. I ended up, if you haven't noticed, I mean, you probably just did if I'm going to point it out. I have switched off of Antos, the Chthonic keepsake from Patroclus and Achilles, as I found it relatively lackluster, hard to hit first and foremost, but also just it I just like, is it Mort? I don't think it is Mort, but I forget who it is if it's not. The Chthonic companion that you get from Sisyphus and Boldy, I think is just better for me because it gives me more. It gives me a little bit of health, but most importantly, it gives me darkness and coin, which I can use to help kind of benefit meta progression and the run itself in the long run. So I seem to favor that. And it's just funny to just drop a boulder on your enemies.
In the name of Hades.
Oh wow, we got Mirage Shot already. Excellent. Okay, now if only we had a cast actually worth using.
Course is set.
Would be awesome if Dionysus showed up and gave us that trippy shot we're hunting for. It really would. It really, really would.
Thanatos.
It's been a little while, hasn't it?
Can't complain about Than showing up, I
I
suppose.
heard you got yourself into another mess that needed cleaning up.
I'm always in a mess.
Together, we bring death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prepare yourselves.
Yeah.
You are next.
Really feeling the lack of damage, though.
Kill.
At least I can kind of make this work. Like, that's the thing about the shield, is it's super safe. Even if you don't get the numbers you want initially, at the very least we finally got Mirage Shot, which I genuinely have not seen in any of my higher heat runs, and I've done a concerning number of them at this point, which is really sad. I may not outspeed Thanatos here, actually. This is unfortunate, but we are just so severely lacking damage. We're drawed. We're at a draw now. Oh, there was one off screen.
End of that.
Darn. We're not getting our reward for that.
See you at home.
Well. First by RNG as always, Kiwi. Do I take the Hermes or do I take the shop? The shop could offer us Dionysus. At this point I can sell Poseidon's special, so why don't I do that actually?
Should I take the trade?
Then I don't have to worry about it stealing things from us, although... Nah, I'm just gonna let him go.
Could use the extra coin.
The real question is Hermes versus shop here. I think I have to go for shop and hope that we see Dionysus. I don't stand to gain too much from Hermes in this build since I sold off auto reload like an idiot. Oh my goodness, Dionysus.
Thank you, mate.
Please.
Ah, you found me holding up in Kairon's nasty stash there, did you, man? Well, good. Yeah.
Please. Okay, it's the lowest rarity, but it's still trippy shot. That's all we need. And I can buy the palm now and toss that on there. And so see how that raised us by 60 damage? It's actually 120. So just watch how much our damage, like we're not terribly well scaled at this point, but we're about to be.
What's the matter, Learner? You seem quite upset.
Because what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to take the Palm Blossom. I see a gold chest over there, so I'm taking that first. But look at that damage. That's with Mirage Shot and an Artemis Boon. And that's Mirage Shot and Trippy Shot with 1 level or 2 levels on it. Enemies are going to get popped very quickly. Like, see, we one-shot those bonus heads. If we crit. If we don't crit, I don't think we get it, the one shot, but still. There it goes. 766 damage on Trippy Shot. From the Mirage Shot benefiting it, plus the palm levels, which is absolutely wild. This is how the run is supposed to go in the 45 heat runs that I've been trying to get and just have not had the RNG blessing my runs at all. Alright. Block these hits and then these guys conveniently dash together. So we don't one-shot the learning heads just yet, but wait until we get a couple more levels of calm on that cast, and you'll see how crazy this build starts to spiral out of control. I mean, the fact that we are almost one-shotting those learning heads should be enough to demonstrate the potency of this build. And boom.
And clear.
So really all I could ask for right now is more cast gems. So we're going to hold on to the Artemis attack and just watch, sadly,
Short work of the Hydra, then, I take it.
as this Palm Blossom chooses to prioritize that over all else. But let's see. Is there anything else I need to sell so I don't accidentally get things stolen? No, none of these are affected by Palm Blossom, so that's fine. So we'll hold on to the attack, we'll hold on to Dionysus. We need 2 more boons from Artemis. Her tier 2, either exit wounds, support fire, or...
Done.
I'm forgetting the third, it's not Hunter's Mark. But we need one of the pressure points, that's what it is, pressure points. And then it'll put us in line for her...
The Fields of Elysium.
For her legendary.
For all his faults, Father did make this place look good.
There's a hammer. I think the palm is substantially more valuable here, so we'll gladly take that over
Strong bows.
over the hammer here. And we'll bam. So what are the odds that we actually see the Artemis we want? We're probably going to have to get another God's Boon first, because the game really likes to try and throw 4 gods into the pool before they even offer you... Gesundheit, Kiwi. Before they even try to offer you anything else, they seem to be pretty stingy about giving you a redundancy on your already acquired gods.
The power of Olympus.
Until you have
Juicy.
acquired a 4th. Coin or hammer. Once again, the hammer doesn't offer us nearly as much, so I'll take the coin here on the off chance we are offered a god I want to buy at the shop. I have to remember that if I'm offered any nectar rooms, those are also very viable for me at this stage, because they premium vintage has a chance of hitting the cast, and that means another palm level potentially. But really at this point all I could ask for is more chaos.
Idiot.
And more specifically more cast gems from Legendary Artemis or Chaos Spoons. But right, I was going to lament the fact that I discovered that my microphone wasn't connected when I was recording Pokemon this morning. So that episode's supposed to go up today. The Hades episodes I've recorded are fairly well in advance. There's a Dionysus and a Palm. We'll take the random Palm first.
Always hits this.
Hit double strike because of course it did. I think we take this random boon here because it could be Artemis.
Glad you're still in one piece.
And it was Artemis. I don't think any of these put us in line for her legendary though. I'm reasonably confident that is the case. Exit wounds, pressure points, support fire, none of which has been offered, so let's re-roll here. Because at this point there isn't much I want to re-roll for anyway. Pressure points, perfect. Now we have a chance to crit. And we will take another palm level because as cool as Dionysus would be, I have no reason to really want him other than maybe getting increased damage in my Festive Fog from his legendary. But I'd rather just get the palm level because I think overall I'll be able to stack more damage that way by just getting more levels on the cast. But so we still need to see more Artemis. There's still no guarantee that we get her legendary, mind you, but it would be darn pretty cool if I could live out my dream vicariously on an easier heat run.
Gods grant me strength.
The sad thing about it is you'd think, okay, maybe RNG is unkind to me because I have approval process on the Pact of Punishment
Something
that makes it so I'm not going to take that. The Pact of Punishment that makes it so that you have to choose from only one option rather than 3. But no, I've been deliberately keeping that off for the sake of being better guaranteed what I'm aiming for, and it is not happened. It is just, RNG has been so brutally unkind to me. It's hilarious. Or no, it's just, it's frustrating. It's not funny. I'm genuinely gamer raging about it a little bit. Just a tad bit seething about it. I'll be fine. Like, it'll happen one day. But the fact that I'm just consistently not getting the luck that I would love to have makes me a little sad.
Good enough
and
to eat.
Speaking of which, there's another level on our attack, which is getting a
Better blessing.
tad bit overblown. Zeus. So I could go to Zeus here because Zeus, he's the only god left, I think, that we need to invite to the banquet. Alternatively, I take the HP here. If I do take Zeus, I'm selling him immediately, but that would progress us story-wise, and we have all the other gods we want. So why don't we take this as our 4th god? We'll fight a mini-boss. We'll shred that mini-boss's HP in no time.
Butterfly chamber.
Like, look at that. Plus, pressure points has a chance to crit, which means our number could be even bigger than what it is, but 772. Nothing to laugh at just yet. Or, nothing to laugh at, that's for sure. The damage is solid. It's not as high as it could have been, because, again, RNG wasn't the kindest to us, but it's still pretty good. But there we go. That is one room done. One butterfly ball crushed. Now we just beat up the friends, and there we go. All right,
Sure hope
Zeus.
this works. In the name of Hades, Olympus, this is an official message for you in all your splendor, Lord Uncle Zeus.
I think this should be the last god we need for the epilogue.
My, what is this you have for me, young man? Appears to be a message of some sort, bearing my thunder sigil. Though there's one for everybody on Olympus, have they as yet received their own? I must know what it says. It's from your father. Who else can it be? I better check on this.
What I find hilarious is that we gave this to Zeus last. Because we all know that Zeus would definitely believe that he should be the one to get it first.
Just need to tell Mother once I get home.
I guess I'll just take lightning reflexes. It's not a lot of damage, but it's like whatever. I'm going to sell it anyway. And then there's the hammer versus HP. We've got plenty of HP. Let's just take this hammer so it's not offered in sticks and gives us another room where Artemis might show up. There's a lot of flame wheels here. The funny thing about flame wheels is you can block them with the shield. And they wow, that guy actually somehow decided to roll around us, and I don't know if that's programmed intentionally or if not. I guess I can always stand by a wall next time. But, not my favorite enemy type to say. Kiwi. These enemies, the flame wheels, fighting them at 45 heat where you have forced overtime maxed out, plus, if they get their random, if they get their random benefits package perk that lets them teleport, teleporting forced overtime flame wheels are one of the, like, worst enemies I've ever faced. There are just some really bad synergies for those sort of hacks that you have to deal with. I think the worst one, the next worst one after the teleporting flame wheels, and honestly maybe worse than that because it's usually earlier in the run, the Tartarus witches. If you get witches that spawn extra witches, like the fake ones, charge shot. Your bull rush fires a piercing shot that deals 80 damage base. I could take that, but I almost don't want to. 20% more damage and move speed for 10 seconds if blocking a foe. I feel like if that affects all of our damage, that would be more fun than charge shot. I don't really like charge shot. Like, it's really good. Like, it turns the shield into the bow. And especially with the bulwark, that makes it extremely strong. But I don't play well with it, honestly. So I think I'm going to take Ferocious Guard because that means our cast could potentially do 20% more damage, I believe. That's more damage for us overall. Plus, we're getting another palm, which is great. Like, look at that. 1,000 damage on our cast right now. We might have... I don't think we do, but we might still have Fiery Presence equipped, which is why we're doing more damage on the first hit. But actually, no, that doesn't make sense. Because I am... You know, it's Shadow Presence, because when I dash behind them, when I'm dashing with the bulwark, I am getting behind them. That's what's happening there. But like, can you see how? Just imagine if we had an extra cast gem that I could charge into my weapon. That would effectively double and then triple our damage if we get the Artemis Legendary.
Delicious.
We're up to 266 damage on that cast. There's Hermes and there's a shop. Let's just get rid of... I don't even have the option to sell Zeus. Really? Come on, game. Oh, I'm not wasting a reroll here.
Allow me, boy, to introduce some of my loyal subjects.
And allow me to explode them instantaneously. Unless they just somehow dodge that AoE. Sure, why not? Walls in this game, or corners more specifically, have some very strange interactions with how you can and cannot hit enemies sometimes, I swear. There we go. Give me my darkness.
Enough.
I am not amused.
Me neither.
For the
That was too
mirror.
slow. But I think this is the end shop, so I will take the shop here because, again, if we see Artemis, fantastic. If we see a palm, fantastic as well. And we see both.
Should come in useful.
I'm gonna reroll once and hope for her legendary because I'm pretty confident we can get it now, right? Yes. Let's reroll once and see what happens.
Hey, got anything else?
Darn, didn't get it. So we'll take Hunter's Mark here because that is more crit chance, but we are
Let's
going to
hunt
sell
some
it if
dead.
given the option.
Gods grant me strength.
In hindsight, I should have taken that palm first. Oh well, I guess we'll just put it on Hunter's Mark for now. Do I take this HP? It's not like I'm going to afford anything in sticks, so I may as well. I mean, it's not like I'm going to lose 3 Death Defiances. That was probably a waste of 50 gold. Oh well.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
Waste not more words with this one, King. Let's fight.
1200 damage in one hit, though. Like, do you see, we've missed so much of the potential of this build, but we've still gotten a lot of what it needs to just barely become online.
Are you prepared to be sent screaming back to the hellish darkness?
But look at us, just these giant chunking hits.
Not even a scratch.
And there is Asterius immediately getting phased.
That's it.
Like, our Bull Rush does double-digit damage, and our actual cast does quadruple digit. And that's assuming we don't crit, which I don't think we've seen a crit on this yet. I love that I can just dash in and out like that. Like, it's not just that it hurts, it's a pretty safe build, too.
You and me now.
You hit me!
Goodbye, Theseus HP. Ah, man. I do think I'm going to cast a Boldy here when he's done moving so that I can potentially heal from this.
My chariot may be gone, but we shall rise again.
All right, here we go.
Goddess Demeter, I beg of you, assist me.
I think that canceled out my cast there. Weird. And finished. And finished. And finished. There we go.
Monster!
3rd time's the charm, right, Kiwi?
Again, this treachery?
That'll teach him.
Lots of good stuff. And we did get the level on pressure points, unfortunately. I think
I
we're...
dedicate this victory to you, good Shade.
Admittedly, we are getting severely diminishing returns because we did not get a high rarity trippy shot. But even then, I think we switch out our keepsake now for just something we need to level. I could let myself get low and use Skull Earring. That would be fun. Just to see what the biggest number we can get on this is. Let's do that. Alright, selling lightning reflexes and never looking back, never wanted it in the first place. We took it just for the sake of Zeus's ego. Let's be honest. Alright, on to the next floor.
I'm almost to the top.
We can't really afford anything in the shop, but with a couple rooms of sticks, we should be able to hopefully get something. Now, the real question is, do we see Artemis's legendary? And if we do, how crazy will things get?
The temple.
Of course, we're not offered any gold on this floor. Why not? Let us see what we get here. So Zeus, Dionysus, and a Palm of Power. And not a single Artemis to be seen. Sadly, that is our lot in life with this run, unfortunately. So what we will do here is we probably go all the palm routes first to get as many levels on Trippy Shot as possible, and then we go for Hermes after that. Because we are offered potentially 2 Hermes. Yeah, so I have never got it. I don't think I've ever once gotten a extra cast gem in this build, which is one of the most important things to making it come online. You really need at least 1 or 2 cast gems plus Mirage Shot, and then that's when this build just becomes absurdly strong. And then of course tossing as many levels on Trippy Shot as you can, or Trippy Flare I guess is what it is technically. All of the shot based, all the casts usually end with the name Shot, but when you switch them to the Bulwark, they become flares. The Trippy Flare, Divine Flare, you get the idea. I don't need to repeat it that much. Oh, I forgot. We fully maxed out Boldy, so I can drop him a whole lot. Should use him a little bit more often. That said, I mean, if we crit, if we take our very minuscule 2% or like, you know, actually this might be an instance of where Hunter's Mark will really carry the run, because if we can get a crit on another enemy and then get that Hunter's Mark onto whoever we're hitting afterwards, just they would get popped in an instant. Hunter's Mark isn't a guaranteed crit, though. I have to keep that in mind.
The power of Olympus.
All right, we are up to 286 damage, which means we have gotten 186 extra damage off the base, which is more like 372.
That's quite a stash there, Charon.
If I math that correctly. We'll take this palm, toss it on Trippy Flare, so now we're at 412 extra damage on our cast. We will go for... Can't usually pomegranate Hermes boon, so we'll go for Hermes here first. And then we'll take the coin that is offered afterwards. Okay, so when we crit with our cast, 1489 damage on that cast, which is wild. What? Wait, how do we... Oh, I guess that was a back attack. So if we get the back attack, even more. But we are one-shotting enemies in sticks, which is wild. That is the potential of how crazy this build gets. And actually, I guess the other question I have is, I'm not accounting for diminishing returns when I calculate my double damage, and I don't know if that is calculated differently, actually.
Slow day so far there, boss. Well, all of that's about to change. You got my guarantee.
Give us auto reload. Okay. Well, there's still a chance we could get bad news from him.
Loves whatever this stuff is.
If I save... We have Hermes Boon here? We do not. Okay, never mind. I blew it. We could have gotten bad news there, and that would have been ridiculous for our DPS. Would have just been a flat 50% more damage, I believe. Alright, we'll have... This is like the Crystal Meme Beam build. We'll have to run it again.
Right there.
And just see what we get.
A scuffer.
Now, I can potentially get... I'm like 100 coins short.
Sick.
I don't really think it's worth running these extra rooms, but is there anything to gain? I guess I could get the reduced damage taken in Infested Fog, but that's about it. I say we just run it.
Thus has the prince again persuaded fearsome Cerberus to get out of his way.
Thanks, boy.
Cerberus devoured that satyr sack. All right. So we're going to try and just see how much our base damage does to Hades. It looks like it should be about 15,000, especially if we get a crit.
All right, this is it.
Our last exchange left much to be desired for my part, but this time we shall see.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let him use his first attack pattern, and then I'm going to drop Boldy and drop my cast on him at the same time.
Sisyphus.
Beg pardon, Master Hades,
You mean to mock me with
How did
such
that...
tricks?
Sisyphus, you were right next to him. Why didn't you hit him? That's so lame. Oh well. We still did that almost 15,000 damage in one hit, though. Yeah, 1490 is our hit. 1660, okay, new highest. Maybe it's the back attack. I don't think we're gonna find out if he's gonna phase like that, though. I really don't need to care about these trash mobs, but he's invulnerable for a little while, and maybe we can get Hunter's Mark if I get a crit here. Fishing for a crit to cast Hunter's Mark on Hades would be pretty cool. There we go, okay. Hunter's Mark, let's go. 1489. Or actually, it may have been more than that. We're hitting 1660, which is kind of wild. Let's keep this guy alive. Actually, Hades is about to phase, so I probably won't be able to see the damage caps. Let me phase Hades, and then we'll try again.
Achilles taught you to be quick. Wretches of the underworld, I command you now to rise and fight for me.
I need to get rid of these trash, at least a couple of these trash mobs. Oof, got clipped. Oh, we have Skull Earring. Skull Earring just got activated. Let's see this. 17 something I think that was? 1746 in one hit. And this isn't even the full potential of this build. It's kind of wild. Alright, so I do have to be careful because I think he can one-shot us, especially if he tosses his cast gem on us. But here, if I can crit this... Of course it's out of range, so I can't. Just need to get a crit on one of these gems. Did that get him Hunter's Mark? It did not.
This is for your own good.
I don't know what I was doing there. I thought I could get behind him. Oh well. Alright, let's let him hit us down again. I was just... Okay, there we go. 1746 seems to be our damage cap here, unless we crit. We could crit and potentially hit more. There we go. This is what I wanted, to get behind him. Okay, that's the first phase of phase 2. Alright, we are living on a prayer. But I don't have to care. I also don't have to rhyme. That was unnecessary. Alright, once again, we're just hanging out with Hades. We're not even taking the fight seriously because he's such an... 1918, Kiwi, new record. 1918 in one hit. Alright, can we... There's Hunter's Mark. Okay. Oh, he's gonna safe spot with that. I don't think I'm gonna be... I think Hunter's Mark will despawn. Hold on, let's try it. So that was over 2,000 damage in one hit right there if we count the crit on the attack.
You have defeated me somehow. And yet...
Alright. Those were some big meaty numbers, Kiwi.
Fair. Well...
I'm pretty sure I've hit higher with close range or point blank shot, triple shot Artemis attack on Rama before, but still feels pretty good.
Father's name.
But again, this was hardly the full potential of what this build can offer. We got a lot of what we wanted though. We just didn't get, think about it this way, one cast was doing over 1,000 damage. If we could do multiple casts in one hit, it literally doubles or triples our damage if we had gotten Artemis's legendary or even a single boon from Chaos. But all that said, I'm still not going to complain too much. Companion Shady, I love you, but no, you're not on this list. Let's go ahead and take out Deadly Strike. So we definitely want to honor Mirage Shot. We want to honor, I think, we didn't even benefit from Premium Vintage. Dionysus really stiffed us at the start, unfortunately. I think that's really it. Beowulf, Mirage Shot, and 10 levels of Trippy Shot. That's about all we need to show for this, right? I guess auto reload is kind of cool, but nah. So that's it. Those 3 boons are all that mattered. And that is... Did we just break 40 on win streak? I didn't actually see, but I think we did. Awesome. It's kind of crazy, like...
Having achieved his goal, the Underworld Prince discovers that the mortal realm is utterly bereft of the life-threatening excitement to which he has grown accustomed, and the lack of anything of note to do. The sheer mundanity results in this.
Quite the painful... Quite the audible and painful sounding death throw there. But yeah, I mean, look at that. That was a relatively fast run, all things considered. And
showed you that time, Father.
It wasn't even full potential, which is something I have to say a lot.
I want you to go out there and die some other way.
Hypnos, I am not dying to anything other than the post-credits scene, unfortunately for you.
I can tell when Mother Nyx is upset, Zagreus, and I know better than to ask her, so I'm going to ask you. What happened?
I don't know what this is about.
Probably because Nyx took issue with me chatting with Deucer from time to time. Is that really so unbecoming of me? Not even Father seems to care.
Interesting that Thanatos would take issue with this.
Well, Mother cares, and I for one know better than to question it. None of us would be here were it not for her. If she has a request for you, you honor it.
Thanatos, I'm going to respectfully decline that request.
You're telling me I should just start ignoring Deucer from now on, like you do?
You're a god. I'm telling you to learn to act like one.
No, I don't want to.
Achilles, sir. I've revealed the hidden aspect of the Shield of Chaos, thanks to Chaos themselves. Apparently, someday it'll protect an armored warrior known as Beowulf from all sorts of dangers. Even a dragon. Mortals don't stand much of a chance against those, do they?
Did dragons exist in Grecian mythology?
Depends upon the dragon, I suppose. I've heard they differ all across the world. Though that's a fascinating find there, lad. This Beowulf. Sounds like you'll find a way to make good use of all that protective gear. Always preferred mobility myself, but then to each his own.
I guess maybe. I mean, they have the Hydra, and that looks pretty dragon adjacent.
I doubt he would be any match for you.
I do, sir.
Your Highness, hi. All's well here. Nothing to report.
Cool. All right, so we've made a little bit of progression in that storyline that I'm interested in.
Zagreus.
Who's the best three-headed boy?
Oh, Kiwi, I think this is it. I think this is the epilogue. I think if we talk to these two, we'll get the epilogue here. Well, I mean, there's no reason not to, right?
Thank you for checking up on me, my friend, although I'm quite all right.
Let's talk with everyone in the house first, and then we'll go ahead and have that be the end of the episode. 50 darkness for 1 nectar, we'll gladly take.
Darkness, please.
And the head chef, turning in our goods.
Here's the latest cat chef.
Key
All right,
and
then.
40 gems. Not that exciting, but we'll take what we get. And some ambrosia for Nyx again.
By the way, I meant to tell you, child. The ambrosia that you gave me? Rather than hold on to it indefinitely, I decided recently to sample it. Your father's claims about its flavor are quite false. I have never tasted anything like it.
So glad you liked it, Nyx. And good timing, too, because I have for you another bottle here. They say each one is different in its own respect. And besides, the pleasures of Olympus should be shared. Please take it, won't you?
You are persuasive like your mother and determined like your father, child. But if you so insist, then I shall not deny myself the simple pleasures of this drink, though rare is the occasion for it here.
Cool.
That's
so
quite all right.
I think we
It
have
never
like
spoils, and you have all the time in the world.
Yeah, okay, we have one more level of ambrosia. She's one of the few people who has 3 levels of ambrosia after unlocking that option.
You are still in a difficult predicament, my child, and I with you in turn. Those on Olympus think you seek them even now, that you are my own son by birth. Our deception, well intentioned as it was, has multiplied in size.
You're right. We have to do something. We can't just keep pretending with them.
But if you reveal to them the truth of everything, I fear the wrath they shall unleash. Perhaps not all of them, but some, at least, shall not take such deceptions well.
Particularly Demeter, I think, is going to be a little bit sour about this.
I couldn't agree more. Fortunately, Mother has a plan. Asked me to get in touch with everybody on Olympus one by one.
Your birth mother is resourceful, certainly. Though can you say as yet which sort of plan?
Would you believe it if I told you she wants to have all of them over for ambrosia?
Truly?
Okay. Well, alright, let's go say goodnight to Skelly, see what our next run is going to be, and then we'll go ahead and get that epilogue. I think, right? We're up. Yeah. Report to Persephone and Hades, yeah. This is it, Kiwi. Something that I never got to see in my original playthrough, among many other things that we've already seen.
Sure could go for somebody just wailing away on me right now.
Sorry, Skelly, you're going to have to wait. I don't think you're invited to the party. Alright. Presumably there may have been more dialogue that I had yet to unlock, but I think we've invited everyone. Let's do this, Kiwi. Let's see how this game technically ends.
It's done, Mother. Father, the invitations. Personally sent to everyone with whom I've been in contact. So what do we do now?
Excellent, Zagreus. Congratulate him, Hades. On a job well done.
Persephone is being kind and trying her best to get Hades to act like a father figure.
Persephone, how can you be so certain your request was executed to your satisfaction?
Hades, you had one job. Just give some praise to your son every now and again. Come on now.
It's known as trust, Hades. Or faith. They're similar. Try one sometime. It'll be good for you. As for what we do next, why, we've a great big feast we must prepare.
This house is not a suitable location for such guests. Dionysus alone shall bring ruin to this place. Or, the faith thing that you said.
Well, at least he's learning a little bit there.
Yes, good. Now then, we have a lot of work to go around, so why don't we call everyone on staff and let them in on this, and dole out suitable responsibilities, all right?
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. All right.
Thus did all of Olympus journey deep into the underworld, all together for the very first time. The Queen Persephone revealed herself in all her splendor, much to their surprise, and told them everything she indicated to her son. She eloped with grim Lord Hades, she said, mothering a fire-stepping prince who sought to reconnect with his extended family. Hades and Persephone at first refused his wish, but so moved were they by his relentless struggles to the surface that at last they decided to heed their willful Zagreus and reach out, for his and everybody's sake. The Olympians listened to all this in stunned silence. Then Zeus himself began to laugh. "Welcome back into the family," he said. After the shock subsided, the festivities began.
I like that they played the Dionysus
I say, big brother,
sound effect.
You and your better half put on a positively smashing night. It's a relief for all of us, knowing Persephone is safe and sound. And mother to as noble of a son as my good nephew there.
Well, little brother, the Queen and I, in turn, appreciate you all taking time out of your doubtless busy lives to come all this distance to my house. I'm certain it is very modest in comparison to Mount Olympus, but I trust that you were suitably entertained.
Oh, of course, Hades. Now then, farewell, and let us keep in better touch from here.
Farewell indeed, Lord Zeus.
They are so fluffy. I like that Zeus's hair looks like a cloud.
When finally the great feast ended, all the Olympians returned to their mountain abode, fully satisfied. As for the house of Hades, it required thorough cleansing, from the rafters to the floor. Such revelry, of course, is unbecoming of the name of Hades, and the fearsome reputation of the underworld. For if mortals were to have no fear of death, then they would have no fear of anything at all. A well-kept family secret, then, this would live on to be.
Family reunited. There we go, Kiwi, the epilogue.
Whew. I'd say that went about as well as could have been expected. And the cleanup wasn't all that bad. For the most part.
Well, fortunate Uncle Zeus seemed to catch on right away and went along with it. But this whole elaborate tale you spun... I remember how hurt I felt when I found out Father lied to me about you. Now we're lying to Olympus. What if they find out? Even if they don't, I don't like it.
I'm really interested, though, because, like, or maybe even a little disappointed. I wish that the other gods had a chance to kind of, like, chime in and have some sort of reaction. Like, some gods I'm sure wouldn't really matter that much. Ares and Artemis probably don't have much to say about it. Aphrodite would just say, oh, well, that's a sweet story since you eloped for the sake of love. Demeter, though, I really wanted to see Demeter's take on this, and she had nothing to say. It was just Zeus and Hades.
Zagreus, I may not be an expert, but here's what I've come to understand about how families work. At least our own. The thing is, how we speak to one another is even more important than the words we use. I think, deep down, everyone in our family knows this.
An interesting perspective. I certainly can, I can parrot that sentiment, I suppose.
You're saying they all knew you weren't being perfectly honest and went along with it anyway. I guess the pomegranate thing in particular was a bit of a stretch.
The common ground in our family is that we want peace. Besides Ares, though even he would rather the conflict occur elsewhere. That elaborate tale, it's less a deception and more a concession. A way of saying, let's move on from the past and start anew. No hard feelings.
Personally, I feel like proper honesty would be preferable, but if they're all kind of on the same page, or at least we hope that they are, well, certainly starting anew is all they could probably ask for, I suppose.
You don't have hard feelings? What about Father? What about Demeter?
Well, let's see. My hard feelings are nothing next to the joy of having my son in my life. Your father never imagined his relationship with me could be out in the open. And my mother, she's just glad I'm alive.
I wish we could have seen that for ourselves.
And Uncle Zeus is glad things didn't turn out worse for him. I get the sense he acts a bit impulsively at times and deals with the consequences later.
That sounds very accurate.
What can I tell you, Zagreus? We're family. You said it yourself to me before. We're stuck with one another. That any of us like each other in the slightest. It's a wonder and a blessing, I think.
That is family in a nutshell, all right. We are stuck with each other, and the fact that we like each other in the slightest is a wonder and a blessing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Thanks, Mother. Think I'll be heading out again soon. See you when I get back.
Sounds good. I'll see you then.
Prophecy fulfilled.
Cerberus in the spotlight.
I'm glad that Cerberus was in the spotlight for the family reunion. Everyone has to know who is the best boy of the house. And it is not Zagreus, despite what everyone might think. One for the ages, reach the epilogue of the story.
Who am I to question fate?
Family reunion. The god of the dead, the son of the god of the dead shall someday deliver Queen Persephone's personalized invitation to each Olympian so that they may gather for a significant announcement. 20 ambrosia is our reward.
Family. No issues whatsoever.
All right, then. That's it, Kiwi. We beat the as far as the game is concerned, we've seen all the story that there is to have, and yet I expect there to be more dialogue. I'd be very disappointed if there weren't at least some custom lines reflecting what just happened in the game.
Ready, Exegriff?
But with all that said, I think that's it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.